Hey folks, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. Today we are building something cool. We're building some watches. Now these two watches are from DIY Watch Club, and this is a pretty cool video because this is not a sponsored video. I told a bunch of family and friends that I wanted a kit for Christmas, and I got two of them. So I'm gonna be able to give you an unbiased, true review of DIY Watch Club, and if I think it's a good value. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned to the very end of the video because I'm gonna go over all the costs and price comparisons, and then you can make an informed decision if this is something that you wanna do for you. So these are the two watches that we're going to be building. The one on the right there is actually really neat because it is a Seiko style diver watch, and if you can see on the dial, my wife actually had my signature put on the dial. They can do that for you over at DIY Watch Club. Now the left watch, that's more of a dress style watch, and that kit came with a hand bluing kit, so we're going to be showing that in the video. We're going to be building the one on the left, but don't worry, we're not going to be building it out here on the workbench. So I'm going to be filming this video for the first time in a place I've never filmed before, and that is my desk. Now what's nice about this, I've got my computer here so I can watch the tutorial videos as I put the watch together, and I've also got a big, clean, dust-free work surface. Now the watch we're building today is a Mosul watch, so this is kind of more of a dress watch. I'm wearing here the one that I built a couple days ago. Now this one that I have here comes with the brown bag kit. There's also an upgrade black box kit, and we're going to compare those two kits at the end of the video so you can make a wise decision as to which kit you're going to order. But for right now, let's get into the kit. But another cool thing that we got with this one is this. This is their flame bluing kit. So this actually comes with all the stuff to flame blue the hands and the metal parts on our watch. So we're also going to be doing this to the hands and maybe some of the screws in the back of the movement of the watch. So this is going to be pretty fun. But now to get back into this kit, let's pop this thing open, see what we've got in here. And same as the other kit, it comes with this little guy here. And this will tell you where to go online to get your videos. So right there on the back, we're going to register the watch, and we're going to actually use the videos on the computer to build this thing. So once you get logged in, this is exactly what you're looking at. It is a step-by-step guide with YouTube videos on how to assemble your watch. Now, because this thing has YouTube videos by itself, I'm not going to go through all the nitty-gritty step-by-step on how to do this, because if you order one of these at home, you're going to be following their videos. I'm more going to go over the whole process.
Now the first step in the assembly process is opening up the case. Now the case, when you get it, comes already put together with the movement holder inside it. So we're going to get our case opening tool or case back tool and remove it. On this particular case, the back unscrews. Once we've got the back off, we're going to remove the movement holder. That's the little plastic ring that sits inside the case. And we're going to remove that so we can place the movement into it. Now the movement is the mechanical part of the watch, the part that actually does the timekeeping and the date keeping.
And now we can unpackage the dial and install the dial.
With the movement installed in the movement holder, now we can unwrap the dial and get the dial installed on the movement. Now with this particular setup, the dial actually just snaps in place. You do have to do a little bit of tweaking. You want to make sure that the posts coming up to hold the hands in place are in perfect alignment with the hole in the face. Otherwise, everything will be a little bit out of alignment once you've assembled the entire watch.
Now with that done, it's time to install the hands, but we're not installing the hands that came with this kit. We're going to go back to that flame bluing kit and do some work. Now the flame bluing kit is exactly like their other kit in that you've got videos on their website that shows you how to do it. So I've got my flame bluing area set up. I've got the little arm here with the tray. This has filings in it that change colors as they increase in temperature to give you an idea of what temperature you're at. Some distilled water. It comes with a torch, and fortunately it comes with a lot of hands. So you can screw up a bunch of hands before you get it right. They apparently know me. And of course I've got a cup of tea. All right, so it's time to give our first watch hand a go. We're going to drop it in there, and we're going to start applying heat real slow.
Now how this works is actually pretty fascinating. Now the layer of metal shavings are brass, and brass that serves two purposes. One, it helps disperse the heat to get a nice even heat to the watch hand, but it also gives you an indicator of how hot things are. You can see here in the footage that I've sped up that the brass actually changes color as it gets hotter. Now with that, the watch hand also changes color. What's going on the watch hand is as you're heating it up, an oxide layer is forming on the outside of the watch hand. And depending upon how hot you get the hand, that changes what color the watch hand is. So it starts at a lighter color, it goes up through the purple range and then turns blue. After it turns blue, it'll go light blue and then gray. So you want to get it up to the right temperature but not overshoot it, because if you overshoot it, you either need to start over with a new hand or sand the oxide layer down. Now the benefit of this is twofold. One, you get a really cool looking watch hand, and the other thing is that oxide layer helps prevent it from oxidizing in ways you wouldn't want later on while it's in the watch. Now this is a pretty time-consuming process, and I did have to try several times to get the watch hands the right color. So just because I'm showing it to you once in the video doesn't mean it didn't take me a bunch of attempts to get it right. But that's why they give you a bunch of extra watch hands in case you screw them up.
And from what I can tell, it looks blue. So we're going to take it off very carefully and quench it in our water down here. Trying to grab focus on these things so you can see them, and I don't think the camera is really doing them justice, but they are a nice, deep, dark, almost iridescent blue. I'm going to try to get a better shot of these once they're in the watch. So now it's time to install the watch hands, and this was by far the most nerve-wracking part of the job on the previous watch, and I expect it's going to be about the same here.
So the first hand you install is the hour hand, and that's going to be the one with the largest hole on it. So it's really the easiest hand. You install it over the post and then press it in place with one of these little hand press tools. We're going to follow that up with the minute hand. A little bit more complicated. The hole is a little bit smaller, but the same process applies. You fit it over and then press it in place.
So the hour and minute hand went really well. Now it's for the second hand. The second hand was my problem child on the last one. I fully expect it to be my problem child on this one as well.
Now don't let my enthusiasm here fool you. This was probably my 10th attempt trying to get this thing set.
My gosh, I did it. That was a lot quicker than the last one. And actually, I think this one was a little bit more of a pain than the last one with how it's designed. But I got it on there. So now we just want to check and make sure that everything moves and clears each other. And it looks like all of our hands are indeed clearing each other. Nothing is making contact. Everything is sweeping around as it should, which is great news. So now we can install the movement with the face and everything installed into our case. We're going to take our duster first. Make sure we get all the dust off that dial.
And then slide the entire movement into the case.
Once we have the movement installed in the case, we're going to install the crown. Then we can rotate the entire thing over and install our case back. So with that, our watch is almost complete. The only thing we've got left to do is install our straps, and these are the quick release straps, so these are really easy to put on. You don't even need a strap tool or a pin tool. And there we go, our watch is complete. That thing is so cool and so very different from my other watch that I've got over here that I built the other night. So I have two very different watches, both from DIY Watch Club. Okay, so when you buy your watch, you have essentially three different options. You can order your watch with no tools, the brown bag, or the kind of the deluxe, the Pro Tool set. So I'm going to go through each option and kind of show you what the differences are and tell you what I think is the best bang for your buck here. So opening up both kits, it should be noted that both kits have everything in it that you need to assemble your watch. So no matter which one you get, you will be fine. You'll be able to assemble your watch, no problem. Now, getting down to the real differences is in a lot of the finish of the tools. Like the screwdrivers here, for example, the screwdrivers, one of them has more of a matte finish. This one has more of a chrome finish. This, just by feel and weight, this is a higher quality screwdriver than these guys, but both are screwdrivers, both will assemble your watch. Getting into the rest of the stuff in the kit, a lot of the things are very similar. You will notice there's some missing stuff. That's because I already assembled my watch. But getting down into the kit itself, other little differences between the two, the little hand press tools. In the deluxe watch kit, it comes with two, one for smaller and one for larger hands. And in the basic kit, it comes with a single tool that's just two-sided. So you have one side for smaller, one side for larger. Again, I don't really think there's much of a difference there because you're only ever going to be using one at a time. Going into the other stuff, both kits come with an eye loop. It's essentially the same eye loop. This is for magnifying when you're working on your watch, and they come with a little loop that goes around your head that'll help hold that thing in place if you need it. The case back opening tool is the same for both watches, so you're going to get the same case back opening tool in both of them. And then getting down into some of the other tools, same thing with the hand removal tools. These are more of a machined finish. These ones, not so much. But again, they're both going to do the job, and I really don't see a big quality difference between the two. The one significant difference with the Pro Kit is this. This is the actual movement holder pad. This has two sides. One of them is more of a non-slip side. This goes down on your desk so it doesn't move around. And then it has a nice padded side so you can put your movement on the desk. This one does not have that, and this would have been nice when I was assembling my second watch, because I did my second watch just with this kit. The other big obvious difference is, of course, the cases. This one is a nice leather box case. This one is a leather bag, but honestly, both cases are really nice. The one thing I will say about both of them is if you wind up acquiring other tools over time, they really don't leave you a lot of room for other tools. This one may actually have more room because it's got some compartments up here in the top you can sleeve things into. Let's go over the price difference, because that's really the surprising thing. Now, going on their website, I pulled up the prices of both of these kits. To add the brown kit to your order is going to be an additional $30. So $30 more to get the brown kit. To get the black kit, it's $100 more. So there's a $70 price jump between the two kits. Do I think this kit's worth it? No, I honestly don't. If I was going to buy one on my own and not get it as a gift, I would just buy the brown kit. That's pretty close to what you would pay for a kit like this on Amazon. You can get a kit like this on Amazon for 20 to 30 bucks or so. What is worth noting though is if you buy additional kits, watch kits after that, you don't have to buy this every time. You can just buy it the first time. The one thing that I would recommend buying if you had one of these is that little movement holder that was in the other kit, but you can get those on Amazon for $5 to $7. Now, if you wanted to go just buy the entire kit on Amazon and save a few bucks, you can buy an equivalent kit to this one for about $20. I've seen them as cheap as $10. However, what I have noticed is a lot of the kits on Amazon don't come with a hand press. So if you do buy one on Amazon or elsewhere, make sure it comes with one of these or buy one separately, but these are cheap. You can get them for $5. If you do want to go that route, I will have a link down below in the description if you want to check out some of the Amazon kits. So with the tool portion out of the way, now let's get into the watch and see how much of a value the watch is. So I'm going to go on AliExpress because that's really the cheapest place you're going to find these parts, and it's the place where a lot of people that are into the watch modding hobby go for parts.
Now we're going to base this build off of the NH35 movement because that is one of the most common movements that's really used in these kind of watch mod builds. So we're going to start with an NH35 case, then an NH35 movement. Now it should be noted that an NH35 movement should cost $50 to $80, and this one's cheap, so I'm going to guess this one is not an authentic Seiko movement. Probably not, because it's coming from AliExpress. Then a dial, a chapter ring, and a bracelet.
So now we've got all the watch components in our cart, and I've jumped over to the cart page, and it looks like our total, including shipping, is coming to $116.74 to build a very equivalent watch to the one I'm wearing on my wrist. Now, let's get something real here. Comparing DIY Watch Club parts to AliExpress parts is not really fair. The fit and finish of the DIY Watch Club parts is much better, and you're getting authentic stuff with DIY Watch Club versus a lot of the knockoff brand X stuff you're getting with AliExpress. So to do a really fair comparison, I jumped on a popular site that sells watch modding and building parts, and I built the same watch, and the total came out to $322.50 before shipping. So to compare that to a DIY Watch Club watch, let's come over here, and components only on this watch is $248, and that's with no tools. So if you compare those two, you actually are getting a pretty darn good deal with DIY Watch Club. So now to answer the question I said I was going to answer at the beginning of the video, do I think this is a good deal? Do I think it's worth it? And the answer is yes, I do think it's a good deal. But I would be careful about what you buy and how you buy it. So if you went on their website right now, what I would do is I would pick out the watch that I wanted, and I would either buy it with the basic toolkit and then go on Amazon and buy the little movement holder separate for a couple bucks and you got everything you need. Or I would buy the basic watch kit without any tools and buy the tools separate on Amazon. You're only really saving a few dollars there. I would not buy the Pro kit. I don't think the price difference there is really worth it. I think this is a great way to get into watch modding and tweaking with watches. Now, I know somebody's going to chime in and say you are not building a watch because you're not building the movement. And you're right, but if you build a car and you throw a crate engine in it, you didn't build the engine. Did you still build the car? I don't know. You can argue that in the comments. I do want to move into movements and playing around with movements, and I may do that in future videos, or I might make my own watch channel because this is kind of an addiction for me. So if you've liked this video, please give it a great big thumbs up. Leave me some comments about this. If you're into watches, watch building, what you've done at home, I'd love to know. And of course, thanks for watching.